The IS-4 is a very, very old heavy tank that has been in World of Tanks Blitz for literally almost since its creation. It is not an OG tank. A lot of people think that the IS-4 was released with the game, but no, the IS-4 was actually released in a tech tree update alongside the KVs and everything, but it is still an incredibly old line. I remember I was probably 13-ish, 14 years old when this line was released into the game, and I was grinding down this line because I thought it was one of the coolest looking tier 10s ever, and obviously the KV2 is on the line, so why wouldn't you grind it? Ever since the IS-4 has been released, it has always been basically the same playstyle. It's had a really solid gun on penetration and strong frontal armor. That's all it's ever been. It's always just been a very solid holding tank with a gun that gets the job done. And Wargaming has decided, for some reason, that this update upcoming is going to change the role of the IS-4 possibly forever. And not in a good way, at least in my personal opinion. We can actually see what Wargaming is going to be doing to the tank by taking a look at the armor here. Now, it's kind of a mediocre looking picture, but it still gets the point done on what Wargaming's doing. The frontal armor of the vehicle, the entire upper plate, is going from 160 millimeters of angled to 140 millimeters. Now again, this is angled armor, so losing 20 mils is a lot more than just 20, because when you angle it, it becomes a lot more. So the upper plate effectively is going from what it was at about probably 280-ish, 290 base to about 240 against AP, meaning that the majority of tier 10s on flat ground, including tier 9s, are going to pen you with standard ammunition. Yeah, you heard that right. The entire upper plate is now going to be appended to the majority of AP ammunition. The turret sides are also losing 20 millimeters, as we can see. The hull sides are losing about 16 millimeters, or actually no, 14 millimeters. The entire lower half of the vehicle is also losing about 20-ish millimeters. In fact, the entire tank is basically losing 20 millimeters on every single orifice and angled spot. So yeah, the tank is becoming a lot easier to penetrate. And the IS-4 was already not that hard to pen as it was. You just loaded premium and the entire upper plate usually was a pen. The only spot on the IS-4 that's still very strong is the turret. Now, thankfully, it doesn't look like Wargaming's changing that all too much. But the fact that you can pen it with AP on the upper plate is definitely a big bummer. It's not like this is a hull down tank, it only has 6 degrees of gun depression. Now we can see the buffs that Wargaming is planning on doing to this tank. They're increasing its power to weight by 2, they're increasing its top speed up to 42, so 4 km/h buff there. Its reload time's getting half a second better, aiming time's getting 0.8 seconds better, dispersion's getting about 10% better, and terrain crossing capacity is also getting a bit better. So the vehicle is getting some substantial buffs when it comes to the tank's mobility, the power to weight, and even the aiming time and reload and accuracy. But again, nobody asked for this. The IS-4 is a strong performer right now, and it has been a strong performer ever since it was released into the game. And they keep messing with it when it should just stay the way that it currently is. Right now, it's in a fairly good state. It's got a good gun, its accuracy isn't broken, it's pretty well balanced there, and the hit points, yes, they're a lot, but the vehicle doesn't have the most mobility, so it takes a while to actually get into the front line, plus you don't hit that hard, so bigger, deadlier alpha tanks can still make quick work of you, especially autoloaders. This has always just been such a good heavy, and that part of being a heavy is definitely being stripped away from the vehicle, especially with Wargaming taking away 250 of the hit points that the vehicle currently resides at. So, in my opinion, the IS-4 will never be the same. Personally, I probably won't be driving it because I've always looked at this vehicle as the frontline heavy that gets the job done, but taking that away is basically taking away the entire identity of this tank. To showcase just how much of the IS-4 you're not going to be able to use next update, yesterday during my live stream, I was having some pretty rough battles, and this was actually the last battle that I decided to play before ending the stream. This was actually a pretty good game, though, to be fair. but this was definitely the last battle I wanted to play before ending the stream, just because the amount of pain that this tank was able to endure. So up against us, we have an IS-4, IS-7, VZ-55, and a Conqueror. Not only that, but we have a Jagdpanzer 100, a Leopard, and a Waffenträger when it comes to the other types of vehicles. We're about to basically hold the entire enemy team in our IS-4, not only bouncing shells, but shooting the enemy, and dealing with an IS-7 that's going to push us into the open a couple times. So, yeah, you're going to watch this tank be absolutely glorious, and the major reason why it's so good. I mean, yeah, it's getting a mobility buff, but as you can see, the tank's already plenty mobile on getting into the front line. Easily made it over here. So we get a nice shot into the enemy Conqueror, just like that, for a nice 459 damage. The gun hits pretty hard, which is something I've always really liked about the tank. So we're going to back up. We're going to make sure nobody can shoot us. We got the Leopard in the open as well, just seeing if he shows us his hull. There you go. Nice 386 damage shot there. We're up to 840 damage. We got the Conqueror in front of us. We're going to reload. Hello, Mr. Conqueror. A bonk. Thank you. Nice 420. Just like that, we are already up to 1200 damage. Unfortunately, our 183 has bled a lot of health, but we're still getting shells out. I was kind of hoping we could get a pen into the VZ side armor there, but as you can see, that didn't really end up happening. So our IS-7 is trying to hold over here, and I am about to side scrape off of him because that's a whole lot of death, and obviously we both need to try and get some bounces here. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm not blocking him and I'm side scraping off of him. Well, there you go. Nobody pens me, nobody pens him. The best of worlds get basically played there. So I got the VZ off to the side, but now the IS-7's kind of just driving into me, which is a bit annoying, but that's fine. VZ bounces me. We get a nice heat shell right into the side armor of his vehicle. Alright, we're up to 2,300 damage dealt at this point, and the IS-4 has been holding pretty dang well. I'm going to back up here, and let's see, I got the IS-7 showing me his armor. There you go, nice shot. Now, it looks like our IS-7 is going to go off to one side. I'm going to try and hold here to the best of my abilities, and this is where the IS-4 is quite strong right now. Unfortunately, my IS-7 just pushes me into the open and loses me about... yeah, quite a bit of health. So you can tell I was not the happiest here. You can probably see my reaction on live stream if you want. But either way, right now we're doing our best to hold. We have done 3,440. And even though we are being penned, this is the part about the IS-4 that's so strong, is that people struggle so much to pen you with the armor it has, with the hit points it has. We're still at 700 hit points, even with being shot so many times. That's pretty insane when you think about it. So we're going to poke this enemy IS-4 over here. He does pen me, but because he shoots heat, we still have 406 health. And because we know he's been shooting heat this entire time, it means that once again, he probably won't kill me with this next shot if he shoots another heat shell. So I'm just going to side scrape here, make sure that he can't shoot my lower plate. There you go. Shoots a heat shell into us, doesn't kill us. And just like that, we're up to 4,600 damage. He's dead. I loaded a heat just to confirm the kill. And this is the IS-4. I mean, the thing literally is a tank. Next update, I already would have been dead because of the hit point decrease. And not only that, I obviously wouldn't have blocked anything. So it's just a great example to showcase how next update, you're not going to be able to do literally any of this in a vehicle like the IS-4. At this point, we're up to 5,100 damage. We got the YAG in front of us. We're going to get one easy pen right into his lower plate. Now we're going to use this dead IS-7's turret, or should I just say entire hull, to sit here and try and get a nice chunk into the YAG. So there you go. We do get killed, but that's fine, because we would have won on base cap either way at this point. So we did 6,027 damage this game. We were able to basically hold the entire enemy team, use our hit points and side-scraping capabilities to win this battle. No way would you have won this game in the next iteration of the IS-4. I would have been dead and forgotten about within the first couple minutes of the battle. And it really showcases what the tank is so good at currently. It's just an amazing vehicle at holding, getting the job done, and making sure that opponents can't deal with you. It is so unfortunate that next update, these capabilities are going to be stripped away, and you're essentially going to be driving a glorified Object 260. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the IS-4. I definitely disagree with what Wargaming's doing here. They try saying that those little buffs that are happening to the tank are buffs over the nerfs, but they're not. They're not. The tank should have just stayed the way it is right now. So if you like the IS-4 currently, I would definitely make a fuss about it in the Wargaming server. And not only that, I would highly recommend to play it a lot right now, because the chances of Wargaming changing these changes is not going to happen. But hopefully enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.